Hi. So, yes, these are rollers. And yes, that is a cap. Wanted to say something, but taking off what I had just to say it was like, no, it's what I was gonna have on right now. So, no, that didn't happen. However, got this book. It came with some cards. I wanted to do a game, right? Not a game, but it's more of the tarot cards. People were reading, and I was like, that's a way of using my gifts and just focusing on reading and listening. How about we give it a try? So I went to a store, looked up, went to a store, drove over there because I really, 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 really wanted to do it. My story, right? So I get in the store, me and my Teddy and Cody was with me. Both my pets, they were with me, and yeah, they had to sit in the car. But how about I get to the doorway and all of this dense something was just so thick. I didn't want to enter. It did not feel the best. Well, it didn't. It's just saying my experience. I wanted to do something different. That's why I went. I wanted to do something different and also wanted to have an experience of something like a reading because I don't remember ever getting one. Not with cards, like straight up, straight. So, okay, back to my story. I walk in the density and I turn and this woman is looking at me. And I look back at her and there's something trying to get there and then I can feel it in my tummy and I'm like, what? Let me burp this back out. Literally burped it back out. As above, so below. Out you go. Don't belong to me. So yeah. Um I looked at her and all of a sudden everything changed back. Like that feeling that came to the belly that got burped out, it was really gone. That was a nice letting go. So I saw she had this stuff on the table with the cards, and I asked her about what she was doing. The answer was not the happiest, but she said she was reading. No judging, but it just didn't feel. Mm. So I was like, well, how much you charge, the regular. And she told me, and I was like, well, give me the three cards. That's all you need, just three. My energy. Thank you, ancestors and everyone. You were there in protective mode, yes, and more. Wow, it was so strong. Okay, never mind that. Anyways, let her do the card flips. Don't think we made it to the third card. She was getting ready to pull it, but I was already pulling out the money so I can move. Yeah, it was all past, even though it was mentioned that, that's not my now. It still seemed to be nothing that could go, like she went to the limit. So, Anyways, it wasn't for me. That's what I figured. It could have been that it just wasn't the right one that was actually giving the reading that was able to go that far. So, but at that moment in time, it was felt not for me. So we let it go. And then I walked around just a little bit and something said, "Don't you buy anything out of this store." So, no, nothing happened. Went and found something else. It took a moment. It was like, how much do you really want to try this out? So I went to another place, another 30 minutes away. No complaints. It was for my best. Me and the boys. They sat in the car, of course. Got to the store. If you're still listening, hey, it's my journey. Just wanted to share. How about that density was in that store too? And it was a lot of people in there, and it could be that. Why? That's a good lesson because how would you know what's negative and positive energy feels like unless you've experienced them both? If you're always experiencing the positive energy, how do you really know what the negative feels like? Unless you experience them. Really, really experience them. Not from someone talking or having a disagreement. That was something different. So, stood in there and something was like, don't you? I was like, I don't even want to walk in here. It was so strong. I didn't want to even walk in. I stood in the doorway. For me, I was like, okay, nope, I'm going to make this happen. We're stronger than that. And we are. We just need to remember, much stronger. We put the light in everything. So it's beneficial for us all. So I walked in. I just realized that walking in, started talking to people. They were watching me. Good. Thank you. Like the attention sometimes. It's a learning experience. Yeah, stop. No judging. Mm, powerful. No judging. So, talking to the two people and asking them about the cards, they were nice and to show me the cards and to say what they could say for. They were like, these are the tarots, these are the oracles. But every time I kept trying to get something, I was looking for something in particular. There was a reason to be there, right? I just knew it was a reason. Something wasn't letting me totally leave that place right there until I had what I came for. So my journey was, yeah, I thought it was just the tarot cards, but it turned out to be a lot more. Mm, yeah, I kept picking up oracles. What does that tell you? I got some other the actual I picked some sacred circle tarots, but kept this one, the oracle. This is a book. I was gonna read this. I was gonna start this reading for those who would listen and know. Well, I won't have rollers all the time. Anyways, so during this, the oracle cards. Okay, so chose that. They set that aside for me, which was nice, but I still needed to be there, and I didn't know why. So I walked around. This lady was messing with one of these tables, and there was so much energy coming from there. Oh, back up. The first store, the one that didn't get anything out, it was like death. Is that enough to say? Okay, so back to this one. What reminded me of that was this table that had all of these ornaments on there. Things that people made. And it was the energy from it was so strong. I can feel it standing back away from it a few feet. And it wasn't nice. And I asked the lady about the table. I was like, are those handmade? She was like, yeah, made from different people. And I asked her, how do you stand the energy? She says, you get used to it. I'll pass. So, I wasn't done yet. I needed to stay in there. Something was like, why am I staying in here? So I went over and I walked by some oils. They were crystals. They had the crystal names on them. As I reached for one, the strength of it was so amazing toward my hand. Now that was awesome. Don't ask me to describe what was happening. I was like, should I touch it? So I picked it up because I've had crystals like this and I didn't get that feeling. And I picked it up. How it went it mixed with my energy so strong and shook from I can feel so much of my inner being, and it was just doing something I'm not gonna say. And I was like, this is a crystal liquid. And so I was like, should I? And I put it down. And I reached for it again. Still was getting that feeling, but it never left me. That strength that was going through the entire being of this body. It was like just doing something until it completed what it was going to do. It totally done it. Whatever. It's like, okay, you need to go home with me. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all. But it stopped whatever was happening, which didn't seem to be of knowledge of. So, anyways, it's like, what else? And then there was one crystal liquid, but I didn't remember having that one. And I went my finger across it, just like until I got to nearby it, like not even touching it. And it shocked it. Yes. It gave me a little freak shock. And I wasn't touching it. Yeah, it came home with me. But I asked about it, I looked at it, and talked to the lady, and I was like, okay, what's this? And she explained it is just the oil. I was like, is it oil? And she's like, yes. But the crystal is in there in the bottom. So it's like it's been absorbing the crystal. And I'm like, oh, wow. So I explained to her what was going on, and I was like, now that's why I'm getting these two. And it felt like that is why I stayed in the store. You may not know something but you can feel it, and your spirit knows. This didn't know what was needed, but I felt it. Something in there. This that needed to come into my presence. We needed to connect, and it was that. And then I can go. And I was ready. Anyways, thanks for listening. And yes, I'm going to go over what we found as far as this book. It came with some cards, and this is an oracle book. So it's a reading. It's more like a story. Check us out later. See my pictures in the background? Okay, that's enough.